Hey, what's up, Logos American History students? It is Monday, June 22nd. Hope you all had a nice long weekend. It was a big weekend. We had Friday was Juneteenth, Saturday was first day of summer, and then yesterday, Sunday, was Father's Day. So happy all of that to you. Happy Monday. It is first day of week 3 of term 6, so we are almost halfway through term 6. Midterm is coming up later this week. If you can believe, we're already halfway done with the term, and we are on day 60 overall of our e-learning experience. So that's a big day, day 60 school days we've been doing virtually now. But since it's a day 60 and it is term 6, let's go ahead and get right into our Blackboard and take a look at what's on the agenda for today. Go ahead and take a look at this here. Let's see, get out of here. There's Blackboard. So, take a look at our class bulletin board as always. Just a glance, since there's nothing really new here. Same old e-learning instructions. Same old message about the Zoom meetings. If we go to topics, one thing that is new, we have a new topic. If you take a look at topics, we have our third topic of the term. We start this week on a new decade, the 1980s, right? We've been talking about the 1970s up until this point for the past couple weeks. We had, 3 presidents during the 1970s? Nixon, Ford, and Carter. And today we're going to look at the first president of the 1980s, Ronald Reagan, right? Ronald Reagan was president for most of the 1980s. 1980s is a good decade for me. It was the decade I was born in. I don't remember Reagan. I was born in 1982, so he was president when I was born. And for the first, 6 years of my life, 5 years of my life. So I don't remember much about Reagan being president. I know that the 80s it was an interesting decade, as we will learn. And politically, it was a decade, dominated by Reagan, but also Reagan's politics, which is conservatism, conservative politics. Reagan was a Republican, and he was a conservative. What does that mean, conservative? Well, we'll learn about it. If we click on the topic here, 1980s, we see new conservatism. It's really, conservatism is kind of a response to the policies that really began with FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, way back when. With the New Deal, if you remember, FDR radically transformed the role that government plays in our lives and in this country, meaning that he created things like Social Security and the idea that the government should take money in the form of taxes and use it to help people, right? That was a radical idea at the time, and popular with a lot of people, but also there was a lot of people that hated that idea, right? They hate the idea of the government taking their hard-earned money and giving it to people who aren't working. They think that that's just a wrong way of doing things, and those types of people supported Ronald Reagan for president, who wanted to make America great again. That's right. Donald Trump wasn't the only president to say, let's make America great again. Ronald Reagan did it before him. Ronald Reagan, before he was the president, he had a long career as an actor. He was a film actor in a lot of movies, TV shows, and then got into politics, was elected the governor of California, and then President of the United States. But again, what do conservatives believe in? Small government, something called supply-side economics, strong national defense, and social conservatism. Social conservatism meaning society should be based on a certain viewpoint of, who should be marrying who, who should be having babies and things like that. That's what conservatives believe in. So let's take a look at the reading for today. Chapter 26, we're starting a new chapter as well. If we download the reading, we see it's not a long reading, like 4 pages, I think. But it gets us at the roots of the new conservatism. Roots of the new conservatism. There he is, making America great again, Ronnie Reagan. But they kind of go through a timeline, how we got to 1980 and Ronald Reagan. It was a pretty big landslide for Reagan over Jimmy Carter in 1980, and then in 1984 Reagan was reelected by an even bigger margin. A Reagan landslide, they see, right? And Reagan he was a professional actor, so he was a really good speaker, right? He had some great quotes. Here's one. Ronald Reagan, when he was running for president, he said, "I'm talking in human terms, and he, being Jimmy Carter, is hiding behind a dictionary. If he wants a definition, I'll give him one. A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. A recovery is when Jimmy Carter loses his." How about that? So yeah, he charmed the American people, and he was able to get elected. We have 4 reading comprehension questions to go along with this section, and those, as always, can be found under the Assignments tab. If we go back, you can find them right here under the Assignments tab. There it is, Chapter 26, Section 1. So you got the 4 reading comprehension questions, and then we have our question of the day. Now, as you'll learn, or as we saw actually in this reading, when you do the reading, you'll learn about this guy, Jerry Falwell. Jerry Falwell and others like him helped build what was known as the New Right Coalition. Right, the New Right Coalition was not just fiscal conservatives, people that wanted the government to spend less money, right, and especially on programs to help, impoverished people, but also religious people, right, Christian people. Members of the New Right, it says here, wanted to restore what they considered Christian values to society, right? They said that American society should be based on Christian values, right? And that's where we get to our question of the day. I want to know what you guys think of this, because, not everybody's Christian, and they're not saying everyone needs to be Christian, but they are saying that they would like a society based on Christian values, right? And really, what do they have problems with? They have problems with non-heterosexuals. They think that is wrong, right? Not being heterosexual. They're very much against abortion. They think abortion should be outlawed. But it's things like that. And so I want to know what you guys think. What, if any, role do you think religion should play in American society, culture, and government? Maybe you say none. Maybe you say some, right? I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with religion. It's just how much of a role should it play in society, right? Let me know what you think. Answer the question of the day. Answer the reading comprehension questions. And as always, if you have any concerns or questions for me, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.